Yep.
Like, subscribe for new content every weekish. Yeah. It's a very good teacher.
I was going to cut that out. Now I'll leave it in. All right. Grade 10. Are we good? All right. What's okay? We all focused? Take a breath. All right. I know it's period 6 and I know we're all tired, but we do need to focus today. What is the little acronym that we talked about last week for Trig? Absolutely. Well done. Sokotoa. All right. Let's remind ourselves. So sine of the angle equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. Then cosine of the angle equals adjacent over the hypotenuse. So the last one is tan of the angle is the opposite over the adjacent. Let's just practice making some triangles, making sure we know how to label them. All right, in the top one, I've got A, B, and C, and then I'll have A, B, and C. So in the top one, which side is the hypotenuse? C. All right, so this one is over opposite the right angle. What side is B?
Opposite.
The opposite, right? It is opposite the marked angle. So what does that make A? Wow, we're very excited over that. The adjacent, what's the fancy, adjacent is a fancy word for? Next to, this is next to the angle. Let's do it over here. Which side is the hypotenuse? A. Which side is the opposite? C. Oh my goodness. What's B? Adjacent. Oh dear. All right, so we know how to label a triangle. So remember, the important part of this is choosing the correct ratio. Are we picking sine, cos, or tan? So let's have a go at doing a couple of versions of that. So I'm going to say that this, wow, calm down, 12 meters, X, and 38 degrees. So let's label things. What is 12? And what is X?
Opposite.
The opposite, right? Because it's opposite my marked angle. So what should I use? Sine, cos, or tan?
Sine.
Sine, right? Sine is SOHCAHTOA, right? So O and H belong with sine. So sine of my angle is the opposite, which is X, over the hypotenuse, which is 12. What do I do next? Right, bring over 12, make it a multiplication, 12 times sine 38, and then whatever that is on the calculator, right? Someone type that in for me, tell me what you get. It's happening. Whoa, that is not a straight line. What is it? 7.38. And it's 9. Oh. All right. So let's look at another one. Let's do an unknown angle this time. Remember that was a little bit different. All right. What am I going to use this time? So what sides do I have? What is 4.1?
Adjacent.
It's the adjacent. It's right next to my angle, which makes 4.8.
Opposite.
The opposite. So what am I using? TOA, right? So this time I'm using tan. So tan of my angle is my opposite over my adjacent. How do I find an unknown angle?
Inverse tan.
Inverse tan, good. So I take the inverse tan of whatever this is. Tell me what that is.
That is.
What is it? 49.5 degrees. All right. Today is all about finding the right ratio, labeling your triangle properly, and using that for some application questions, okay? I'm going to do one more thing here. And we're going to talk about, so when we do application questions, they might tell you the type of angle without labeling it on the diagram. So we talked about this a little bit last week with some people. So if I have a wonderfully straight line, I know, this is why I do this, because I can't draw stuff. All right, so if this is not a triangle, right? This is my horizontal line. Okay, are we listening? We need to learn this language. If this is my horizontal line and I am asked to find an angle of elevation, this is what they mean. Elevation is like an elevator going up, right? So angles of elevation always look up. What's something that goes down? Angle of what? Depression. We're going to be very sad about it. Yep. So the angle of depression is always looking down from the horizontal. And people get this one wrong all the time. So let me give you an example so that you can see why people might get it wrong, because it looks pretty obvious right now. But if I give you an example, you might see why people label the wrong angle. So either way, you're always going from the horizontal. Up is elevation, down is depression. Let's do an example where, all right, there is, I don't have a brown. That's interesting. I'll use this color. All right, here is some lovely grass. It's green grass, right? And we have a lovely green cliff. And now we have the ocean. Got some fish. I know they're amazing fish. I'm an incredible artist. And then we have a boat. There's a dude in the boat. And there is his girlfriend up on the cliff. She's very sad because she misses her boyfriend. He's very sad because he's leaving her. Okay. Yes. Then go, please. All right. So, okay, that sounds terrible. All right. So let's now have a look at if I'm told that the cliff is 25 meters high and this guy has gone 170 meters out to sea. What is the angle of depression from the girl to the boy? All right, so what I need to do now, okay, focus. What I need to do now is make my triangle, right? This is my triangle. All right, let's pretend that's a good triangle. All right, leave me alone. Okay, so this is my right angle. This is 25 meters. This is 170 meters. My angle of depression must go down from the horizontal. It is not this angle. It is from the horizontal. It is this angle. This is why people get this stuff wrong all the time, okay? It's fair enough. This is a little bit tricky. You must go from the horizontal looking down. What is this angle in here? Right, this is a right angle. So if I find this angle here, then this plus whatever this is 90, right? So let's find that angle there. So for color's sake, I'm going to change it. All right, let's call this beta. So, sure. Okay, so am I using sine, cos, or tan? Tan, how do you know that? What side is this? This is the opposite, right? So what does that make this? Adjacent. So tan of my angle is the opposite over the adjacent. Does this look like it's drawn to scale?
Yes. Yes.
That's 25 and this is 170. I'm going to say terrible drawing, okay? Rubbish. So then that makes this the inverse of tan. So someone do this for me. Goes and ready. Quick, quick, quick.
56. No.
What is that?
25.
81.6.
It is 81 point what? 63. Okay. So now I need to come back up here and find this angle because all I've done is find this. So it's going to be 90 minus beta. 8.36 degrees.
7 degrees.
So clearly 8.6, 3.67 beta. All right. 8. Oh my gosh, how many times are you going to change your mind?
Why is it 8 point?
Alright.
That doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be 8.
No, it is 7. This side is 9.
3, 7.
It is 7.
All right. All right. Shh, let's focus. So sometimes you need to find extra information before you can get what you're asked for. So these are the trickier types of questions. Angles of elevation are pretty much always inside the triangle down here, but angles of depression are often outside your triangle. Now, what do you know about this angle here and this angle here? Why are they equal? Yeah. So these are parallel lines. So these angles are actually alternate interior angles. They're equal. What? So if these two angles add to 90 and these two angles must also add to 90, that means these two angles have to be the same, right? If you can't remember that and that's going over your head, that's all right. But that can be a bit of a shortcut that if you're asked to find this angle, you can just find this one and recognize that they're the same, right? So there's one less thing you have to do if you remember that bit.
Yes.
All right. So today we're just going to practice choosing the right ratios and applying them to some questions. All right.
Use one ratio.